there's a lot of talk lately. The biggest story in baseball is about Shohei Ohtani. And I know you don't know where he's going to go, what's going to happen, but put on your fortune teller hat and let me ask you, where do you want him to go and where do you think Shohei Ohtani will ultimately end up?
The want and where I think might be a little bit different. I think he's going to stay in California. I just do. I think he's going to be a Dodger or a Giant, or possibly outside chance an Angel, stay there. I don't know what it would be like if I could imagine him going to the New York Yankees with Aaron Judge and Shohei Ohtani in that market. I don't know how they would function and not age, because there'd be so much attention. But I think in the grandest of stages, in the way that he plays this game, it'd be hard pressed to not think that what he would do as a New York Yankee in that stadium would be mind boggling.
You know, I've thought a lot about that as well, since there was a report that came out the other day that said the Yankees are going to really push hard to trade for him, which I took that with a grain of salt. Who's not going to push hard for it? But it's interesting to me because I'm with you. I don't think Shohei wants to be on the East Coast. I think he wants to play out on the West Coast, as you mentioned. But if ever there were a time, I do think test it out in a trade. You're a rental. It's only a few months. So if he ends up in New York during a trade, that might make him more willing ultimately to sign somewhere once he tests it out and think, okay, it's not that bad over here. I can do this. But I think if it's ever going to happen, I think it would need to happen via a trade for him to at least test it out first.
I agree. And I'm going to be on the aggressive side. I'm going to say it's worth to get him, even if you don't re-sign him, with a chance to win the World Series. Whoever gets, if he were to be traded to some of the top tier teams, let's just say New York, it puts them in this clear favor, in my opinion, to get to the World Series in the American League. That's how big of a difference this guy makes. And let's say they don't re-sign him. I think it's worth it. The Yankees have a lot of pressure on them to get to the World Series and win one. We got a drought going. The Dodgers took care of theirs. And I'm just telling you, I know people are saying there's no way he's going to get traded, this or that. I would force the hand of the owner and make the deal so sweet he can't pass it up.
So you wouldn't hesitate, even though if there is no guarantee he's going to re-sign. But let's say he's not going to sign. Let's say we know that going into it. You still wouldn't hesitate to give up a 1 and a 2 prospect and some big leaguers for Shohei Ohtani?
I would not hesitate, because in my mind, the reason I'm making that move puts us over the top. It puts us in a position and we're now the clear favorite, or we've got a great chance. Look, guarantees, there's no guarantees in the postseason. Yeah. And I think we've seen that. And I think this would be one of the most aggressive and worthwhile trades ever.
Thanks for watching. If you love flipping bats, swinging 3-0, or just talking ball, join us. Call us at 213-537-9339 with your questions. We have a weekly guest, and we have a lot of fun, so hit that subscribe button.